new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is the most pro-Donald Trump MAGA place anywhere on the planet. I promise you, we got a lot to cover today. Here we go.
Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds.
Showtime.
Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome to the program, everyone. It is Friday already, May 26th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. This show is so old. When Steve first started this show, it was done over a telegraph wire with dots and dashes, and here we are. And, of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk, and we've got a lot to cover on the program today, people, a lot. Now, today is also open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. On Friday's program, any and everything you have on your mind is fair game. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up on the program, but I do have a lot of things I'm going to cover and hope you find them interesting enough to comment on top of whatever it is you want to talk about on this Open MAGA Mic Friday. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, there's some big stories coming down with Trump, which I'm going to cover, and I uncovered yesterday the entire Ron DeSantis campaign strategy, which I'm going to detail to you here real quick. And it's really sick, sad, and disgusting. And we're going to go through that and talk about it. I know. Hey, I'm sorry. Just because someone's got an R next to their name doesn't mean they're going to get a free pass, okay, and betray all of us here in Florida who supported and voted for them, including Donald Trump. All right? Because I imagine Donald Trump voted for Ron DeSantis the first time. Was he a Florida resident the first time? I gotta check. He may, I'm not sure. I gotta look. The last time, I don't know. I don't know about the last time, but the first time maybe. I'm not sure if he was a Florida resident officially, President Trump, during Ron DeSantis' first run. But his campaign strategy will upset you a lot. We're going to detail that and a whole bunch more. There's just a couple of things. But I want to say it is Memorial Day weekend, and I want to say a couple things about Memorial Day weekend. Number one, Memorial Day weekend is the weekend with more drunks on the road than any other holiday. And the reason that is Memorial Day is always on a Monday. It is always a 3-day weekend. So if you don't have to be on the road, do not. And I got to tell you, it's a deadly day. I've seen many a deadly car accident on my way into the radio station on a Memorial Day Monday morning with dead people in them. I mean, I've seen some of the most bizarre accidents. A lot of light poles falling on cars and things. It's really a bad one. Now, so far as today and the whole weekend, the cops, I don't know, are we allowed to do this on the air? I don't know. This is not a traffic report, and it is in no way connected to the traffic report. Although I did listen to the traffic report, and they did not mention what I'm about to share with you. So I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, but we'll find out real quick, right? The police are out in numbers that are just insane, all right? Yesterday, when I left the radio station, I got on the Florida Turnpike, and I got on the entrance. I got on the Turnpike at Okeechobee Boulevard and going south, and there were highway patrolmen. They were just sitting there getting ready right there at the entrance. And as soon as I got on the Turnpike, just highway patrol everywhere, marked and unmarked, with the radar guns out. And the police are out with their speed traps like no one's business over Memorial Day weekend. And it started on Thursday. Today's Friday. So, in fact, I saw so many highway patrol officers on the Turnpike yesterday morning that I didn't even take the turnpike in this. I usually drive the turnpike, sometimes 95, but I usually take the turnpike to the radio station in the morning. I took all the back roads and side roads. Not that I'm out there doing anything nutty or crazy or anything, but it's just too many cops on the road for me with radar guns. I really don't appreciate that, and it does nothing but cause traffic jams because people see the cops and they slow down, and it's just awful. So my advice for Memorial Day weekend is, one, don't go out on the roads unless you must, okay? Two, if you can avoid the interstate or the turnpike, especially the turnpike, do it. I'm not, listen, I don't want to get you in trouble being late for work or anything. I'm not a traffic reporter, all right? I'm just telling you that I could have skipped on foot just jumping from highway patrol to highway patrol. And I really don't appreciate unmarked police. I don't think unmarked police cars should be pulling people over. That's just me. I think it should only be marked. And I really get really aggravated when they start pulling people over on their way to work. Someone's going to work, they're running late, maybe they got a little lead foot, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how much tickets are these days, but I know, like everything else, they're not cheap. I'm sure they've gone up in price. So that's just my advice for Memorial Day. And take it or not, the police officer is your friend unless you're going a couple miles an hour over the speed limit on the Florida Turnpike, and then all of a sudden, they got you. So anyway, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. So let me get into this before the first break because I don't like to tease people through breaks. But I realized, I'm going to go through some of the polls, and I'm going to go through this breaking stuff with Trump. They're planning on arresting Trump. We're going to go through all this stuff. But I realized yesterday afternoon, actually right in the middle of my podcast, I was recording my podcast with my wife, which, by the way, the Brian Craig Show podcast has again been named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. Number 1 is Mark Levin. Number 2 is The Blaze. Number 3 is the Brian Craig Show podcast, which, by the way, that is a list of 100. Out of the 100 top conservative podcasts in America, my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, has been named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. And that's based on all kinds of factors, including number of listeners. Okay? So anyway, just to give myself a little pat on the back there. But I realized this during the recording of my podcast yesterday. Ron DeSantis is double digits behind in most every poll. There's not any poll where he's doing well in against President Trump. And then yesterday they came out, this Washington Post, the paper of Woodward and Bernstein, of Watergate and all their lies. The Washington Post came out with this story on the document scandal, which I am going to go into later on. And I realized why Ron DeSantis is grinning ear to ear. His entire campaign strategy is based on a fantasy that President Trump is going to be arrested and he's not going to be on the ballot. And he's not going to be able to run in the primaries. He's not going to be on the ballot. He's not going to be able to get the nomination, and he's going to breeze through on that. And Ron DeSantis believes that if for some reason he's able to get the nomination from Donald Trump and Donald Trump's in jail or facing trial or has been arrested, that we are going to vote for him because we're going to vote for any Republican over a Democrat. And I'm here to tell you right now, that's not the case. I believe that if Ron DeSantis gets the nomination of the Republican Party, and I don't believe that's going to happen, but I'm saying if it were to happen, I believe that if Ron DeSantis were to get the nomination instead of Donald Trump, that the MAGA Republicans, which is basically the entire state of Florida, so Republican base, and the base around this country as well. Look at what MAGA just did to Budweiser. Look what MAGA just did to Target, all right? And look at these polls with Trump beating DeSantis by double digits everywhere. If Ron DeSantis somehow got the nomination instead of Trump, I believe not only would MAGA not vote Republican if he were the nominee, I believe the entire MAGA movement nationwide would organize a stay home and don't vote movement. Because if Ron DeSantis were to get the nomination, that would be the official start of America under one-party rule. And it would not matter whether it was Ron DeSantis or Joe Biden or Willie Brown's girlfriend Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or anyone else. It wouldn't matter. There'd be some little issues where they would, okay, we got to give the Republican, Bible thumpers some red meat and they'll do something for us. But I believe we would organize a don't vote for anyone and stay home. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. And I do believe that is DeSantis' campaign strategy. But as I said at the beginning, it is Friday, which means open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
This Kia sales event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Make that switch to City Kia.
Get ready for the main event. Thank you for making City Kia the #1 Kia dealer in all of Central Florida and top 10 in the USA. 2 years in a row. Some dealers claim to give you 10, 15, 20,000 over Kelly Blue Book. Does that seem real to you? We didn't think so. City Kia will beat any valid offer in the USA on an in-stock new Kia or pay you $500. City Kia is the #1 certified pre-owned dealer in the USA. This Kia sales event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Nobody beats a City Kia deal. Nobody. It's the main event. Visit us at citykia.com.
Make that switch to City Kia.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Oh, you're my movers? 2 men in a truck.
Good morning. I'm man number 1. I'm man number
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Wait,
What do you guys think? Do you think that is DeSantis' strategy?
3 men.
Whatever it takes to move
Trump's going to get arrested. I'll get the nomination, and these Republicans will vote for me. Do you think that's his strategy? I do. I really do believe that. Let me know what you guys think about that. It's pretty sick, isn't it? Pretty sick.
And offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 9.
I'll get into the Trump arrest. Don't worry. I'm going to take some calls, and I'll get into that. These people. They're always working some scheme, some angle. You know?
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can.
I woke up this morning, I thought it was Saturday. I was like, oh, I almost went back to sleep, and then I realized it was Friday. I was like, oh.
On the south side of Sample Road.
Here we go.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It is the Friday before Memorial Day. We are here. And our number 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Before we go to the calls, I want to ask you this very, very important question. Do you or someone you know or love suffer with neuropathy? Neuropathy is living torture. It makes life almost unlivable. And if you have neuropathy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The symptoms of neuropathy are pure torture. No feeling at all in your hands and feet. The feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Muscle weakness, dizziness, Yeah, that's right. You can't walk without falling down. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet. It is awful. And doctors will tell you there is no treatment for neuropathy. Learn to live with it. Well, that's not true. But I know that doctors say that because Steve went through this. His primary doctor, he went to neurologists that are specialists in such things. No treatment. Learn to live with it. That's your life now. Torture. Well, we found Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Not only do they have a treatment for neuropathy, their treatment works. It's a no-charge consultation. If you mention you heard about them on the radio, you can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. They got a brand new website, by the way, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Now, no matter where you're located, they can help you. If you can't make it into Pompano, that's okay. Even if you're local and you can't make it into the office because you can't drive or don't drive or can't get a ride, they can still help you. You can give them a call, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. All right, we'll go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Al.
Hey, Al. Al the John. Liberal Al. What's up, Liberal Al?
I'm a subscriber of the Washington Post, and Walt Nauta is going to, and Mark Meadows are going to bury Trump because of the moving of the documents and obstruction of justice case that they have that's opening shut. I mean, he moved those documents 3 times to try to avoid it.
Well, I'm missing, where's the, okay, so these classified documents, so they were moved 3 times. What does that mean?
That's obstruction of justice.
No. How were they moved? Explain to me what that means specifically. So I know I read the Washington Post story. I'm going to go through it in a little bit. But so these classified documents, which by the way, President Trump has the top security clearance, but these classified documents that were moved 3 times at Mar-a-Lago, explain to me what that means and how they were moved, and they were moved from one place to another. What are these places? Tell me about this, please, since this is going to bring down Trump.
The storage facilities on Mar-a-Lago, but
is Al slurring his words? Did you hear that? The thoughts. Are you up early or just still up late? I think I might have seen you walking down Military Trail this morning. Guy kind of looked like you. He had a bottle he was drinking out of a paper bag from. The documents were moved from point A to point B. What was point A and what was point B that the classified documents were moved from?
Well, point B was the offices of Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago. That's point B. And the bedroom, they moved him into the bedroom and into the main. Okay, so this is interesting. So I appreciate you bringing this to the audience's attention. So what Liberal Al just said is that President Trump had the classified documents moved from one point that is under Secret Service protection to another point that is under Secret Service protection. I'm waiting for the part where the documents were not secured by federal protection. Okay. The Secret Service don't sleep there. When he leaves there, they don't stay. They leave with him.
No, that's not true. The Secret Service, excuse me, that is not true. When President Trump is not at Mar-a-Lago, the Secret Service are always there. It is always guarded by the United States Secret Service, even when he is not there. Even if he leaves for the summer and goes to Jersey, they are still there. That's not true, Al.
They have a small detail, but that's...
Oh, now they have a detail. They have a detail. It may not be as large as when the president's there, but they are there. And they are heavily armed. Believe me, I know. So I'm waiting for the part. So you told us, this is interesting. So Liberal Al just cleared Donald Trump of any wrongdoing. So President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, you just told us, moved the documents from his office, his private office at Mar-a-Lago, which is protected by the United States Secret Service, federal agents, and moved them to his bedroom, which is a very private area, and that is also protected by federal agents. Where is the part where the classified documents were not secure?
So I doubt they're guarding his bedroom when he's not there, okay? But in any case,
No, they are. They guard the entire place is under Secret Service protection every day of the year, if he's there or not. So I'm waiting out for the part where the documents were not secure. Sorry about that, guys. I keep hitting the camera.
plenty of time. They moved it. They had an outdoor storage facility that they discovered.
They had a what?
They had another storage facility off Mar-a-Lago that they recovered a long time ago.
Excuse me. The documents have been secured at Mar-a-Lago all along. There's a old bomb shelter at Mar-a-Lago that the documents not only were stored in, but they had a lock that the government gave to the Trump people to lock up the documents with. So I'm waiting for the part where the documents are not secured at Mar-a-Lago, which is under federal protection.
Records Act. Let me get 2 sentences out, please. The Presidential Records Act does not allow him to keep classified documents for the rest of his life. He's supposed to return them. He refused to return them. Evan Corcoran is lawyers.
No, none of what you're saying is true. But I'm waiting for the part. Can you tell me when they were not secured under federal protection? Where's that part?
If Walt Norther is moving the documents around, his personal valet is moving them around.
If you are a personal valet of President Trump, you have not only security clearances because of what you might hear or overhear, you are also vetted constantly and regularly, as are your family members and associates, by the United States Secret Service.
Trump is in such trouble.
Trump is in trouble, but you can't tell us how he's in trouble. You just cleared Trump, Al. You just cleared President Trump of wrongdoing.
He refused to return classified documents, and some of them have to do with overseas agents and everything.
Really? If they're classified documents, how do you know what they contain? Excuse me, if they're classified documents, how do you know what are on these documents? Did you breach Mar-a-Lago and illegally obtain? What are you, a spy? How do you know what's in these classified documents, Al?
Public knowledge.
Well, if it's public knowledge, they're no longer classified. If you know what one of the documents contains, it's not secret any longer. It's no longer classified.
Public.
Who shared the contents of these classified documents with you? What did you find out about this?
I have my sources.
So, okay, you have a source. So there is someone who shares with you classified information. This is a very unique call, because if that's true, you just confessed to the crime of espionage. So who is this? Can you please let us know who is this person that is leaking to you classified U.S. secrets?
The Judiciary Committee, who I have multiple friends on the Judiciary Committee.
Okay, the Judiciary Committee, many of them have security clearances. Are you telling me and the people listening to this program that there are people on the Judiciary Committee that have security clearances that are giving you classified information? You know, that's a crime on both ends.
With Barry Silver later this week.
What?
I will discuss it with.
Oh, now he wants to plug a YouTube channel. Not going to let that happen. I would suggest that Al, if someone is telling you what are on these classified documents, that's against the law. They have done what you're accusing Trump of doing, right? Do you have a security clearance?
Hey, listen,
No, do you have a security clearance? He's deciding whether he's going to lie or tell me the truth that he doesn't. Do you have a security clearance?
25 years ago, I had a security clearance. I do not now.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a security clearance. So I'm not even going to debunk your thing about 25 years ago. But you don't have a security clearance, yet someone is sharing with you top secret information. Don't you think you should report?
Yeah. Hey, listen. The Washington Post is every report.
Okay, all right. Blah, 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 blah. Callers on hold. Stand by. We'll be back.
Making morning radio
Oh, my
great
goodness.
again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. All right. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, my goodness.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm first warning meteorologist Vanessa Vinance from WPBF 25 News. The first half of the day looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine, but then we'll see another round of heavy rains passing through South Florida later this afternoon and continuing into the evening hours. Temperatures will be in the 80s and less rain coverage on your Saturday and Sunday.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're heading out this morning, there is an accident to look out for on I-95 southbound at Congress Avenue. That accident has the on-ramp closed. Heading over to Congress Avenue at Peninsula Corporate Drive, there's an overturned vehicle in that area to look out for. And 10th Avenue South at South D Street, there's an accident to look out for there. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. In that traffic, I'm Daphne Smith.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the newly renovated Hoka Room at PBKC, open daily for cash games.
Oh, every line on the board is lit. Oh my goodness. We got some. Was that a call or a confession? What was that? With Al. Sorry guys, I hit the camera a couple times with my hand when I was talking to that idiot. That's why you got a little earthquake action going on. Oh my goodness.
No side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973.
He probably was like in the Army or something, or the National Guard. He was gonna claim he had a security clearance when he was in the Army or something, but.
Order the essentials: a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3%
That was a good
cash
call,
back on online
I must
shopping,
say.
which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine.
That was a good call.
Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Yeah, there's a delay on YouTube. What you guys see is like 10 seconds. So let's go. Let's do a count. I'll count how long it is. I'll start at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9. Okay, so about 10 seconds. Yeah, about 10-second delay. I don't know why that is, but it is. Because it started about 2 seconds before I started counting, and at 8 is when I heard 1 here. So I'm kind of like in the future. I'm 10 seconds in the future. I'm like a time traveler. Oh, hey, Debbie. How you doing? Hey, Chuck. Welcome, everyone. Yeah. Al blew it on that one. Every line on the board is lit.
And paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention veterans, active duty military, civilians, and
I am starving. I think I'm going to go out to lunch with my wife today. Early, as soon as they start serving lunch. I don't like breakfast food, so I like to have lunch.
these military earplugs recently paid $1.1 million to resolve claims that their earplugs were defective. could have resulted in hearing loss or tinnitus. If you or a loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss, don't wait. You fought for this.
Yeah, it's one of my cruise shirts. I got to buy some new Cabana Hawaiian shirts for the next cruise.
For a free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay nothing.
That's right.
There's a recovery in your favor. So call 800-405-7177 now. Again, 800-405-7177.
The delay is there's just a lag between the signal getting it out to the YouTube. That's why there's a delay. All right, every line on the board is lit, and it's only 6:35 in the morning. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's take these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Ronnie Big W from West Palm Beach.
Hey, West Palm.
Been listening to... How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing all right.
I've been listening. Well, this is pretty interesting because the criminal is in the White House. What about his documents? They need to have a big sale for his entire family. Are the ones who've been doing what they've been doing. And another thing, I know you touched basically on these other talk show hosts. I don't listen to Mark Levin no more. I don't listen to Sean Hannity no more. I don't even listen to Glenn Beck because he sits in the middle. He does not clarify anything. It's just amazing to me how people can look at one-sided issues and not address the full issues that are going on.
Yep.
The president is a man that is standing his ground for what is right. And people don't get it. This is their last chance, whether they know it or not. And I also agree with you about if DeSantis is trying this here, yes, I will do exactly that. Sit out and not vote. I will get in.
That's right. That's right.
I feel it.
That's right.
People got to have trust and things. You can tell me anything, but at the end of the day, I go by what I see you do. Your action speaks louder than words.
Yeah, exactly.
They're asking for. Don't you have come from all these other states here to Florida? I want to say to you all, don't look at Ron DeSantis like a big savior, because he's not. Trump put him where he is today. And the Bushes, you're right, they are criminals. It's a lot of criminals in Washington. And people need to stop looking at these people that are going to help you. They are looking to destroy you.
Yeah, that's right. Well said. Well, thank you for your call. Very good call, and he is spot on, right on the money. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Better than Liberal Al. I imagine Liberal Al's not feeling too good after that confession he made on the air.
Yeah, he you know what? You can't listen to people like this. Even though he had security clearance, like maybe he was in the army or whatever it is. He does not.
He had no security clearance 25 years ago. He just made that up. But even if he had one 25 years ago, he doesn't have one today.
Exactly. The thing is, these people working with the left, the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party leaking like a shit. If you have a leak in your if you have a leak in your gas tank and that gas tank busts open, everything's gonna leak out. That's coming from the Democrat Party. Most of all,
yeah.
CNN, MSNBC, Fox News talk about Trump being arrested. They have no evidence to prove anything.
Correct.
All coming from William Barr. That's who it's coming from. I see him all over the news talking about this, and that is the reason why our crazy governor decided he was going to run against Trump, thinking that he's going to get the MAGA support, and he is not. He's not going to get not one of our support.
Never.
We don't have time for a traitor. We don't have a time for a guy hanging around the bushes in the Karl Rove and the Paul Ryan. We done with that politics.
Yeah.
We in the state we was if it wasn't been for Donald Trump. Donald Trump brought us back, and he'll bring us back again. And if Ron DeSantis is our nominee, and I want you to hear me clearly, if he's the nominee, he can say goodbye to my registration because I would not be voting for a traitor.
So if Ron DeSantis somehow became the nominee of the Republican Party, you would not vote for him. You would not vote. You would stay home.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I don't like traitors. I don't like liars, and I don't like traitors. And he's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right, Maria. Thank you for your call. Wow. Black MAGA out in force today, by the way, on the phones, if you've noticed. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara calling you from Baltimore. And, you know, your show has become so diverse. I'm listening to your callers, and I know they just like me, they are people who have left the plantation. And, you know, when we leave the plantation, we're done. We are done. Ron DeSantis, to me, I like the guy. I used to like him. I like him less than I used to, but I would still accept him as a VP because I think he has a lot to learn and Trump can teach him. But he's not gonna be the nominee. You know, I just don't believe it. I think the way that whole thing rolled out, his I guess, I don't know, whatever you call it.
The Twitter Spaces disaster?
Yeah, what a disaster. And I couldn't understand why. Why would he even do it that way? Why not have a face-to-face with somebody and make his announcement? But anyway, that aside, that was a rookie mistake. That's what it was.
That's right.
Why would you go with something that's not proven and that you're going to go ahead and launch your campaign from? But your caller this morning, I guess, is Liberal Al, because I turned it on and heard this guy talking about security clearance and all this other crap. And he's lying. I mean, you know, he was just making it up as he went along. And I just love that you handle it. If somebody's going to challenge you, Brian, they better come with their A game.
Well, a lot of, you know, it's been long enough that we can reveal this now. I've revealed this before. Steve and I had to keep this under wraps for many years, but it's been long enough now. You know, when they were interrogating prisoners in Guantanamo Bay during the War on Terror, Steve and I did some consulting work for the interrogators on how to get information out of people.
Really?
Yes.
Well, they did a pretty good job, huh?
I guess so, yeah. Who needs waterboarding when you got us just asking some questions?
And treat them nice sometimes works too.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I just to finish up, I'd like to comment about these documents that Donald Trump has. That's a nothing burger. He could declassify documents. They're just grasping at straws, and I don't think they realize the more they come after him, the more we love him. The more we're gonna.
The stronger he is. And, you know, the thing about it with Mar-a-Lago is a fortress. Go watch some of my YouTube videos at Mar-a-Lago. It is literally a castle surrounded by a great wall and a moat. One moat is the ocean. The other moat is the Palm Beach Intracoastal Waterway. And it is protected every day of the year by federal agents that have, and let me tell you, those guys, they have huge guns. I mean, they have rifles I don't even know if I could pick up and hold. And I've had them pop out of the bushes at me once or twice. When I was over there telling me, I was walking in front of Mar-a-Lago with a friend of mine, Rob, and all of a sudden a guy jumped right out of the front gate, you know, because we stopped walking for like half a second. You can't stop. You know, move along. But they have big rifles there. So these documents are in a secure location under the protection of federal agents at Mar-a-Lago. So this whole idea, as opposed to Joe Biden, who has them in his garage next to his Corvette, and Hunter, when he has his sex and drug parties, they could just go out to the garage when they're high with the hookers and just read them and think it's fun and funny and cool.
Well, I think that's where he got some of his information. Anyway, I can't understand why Joe Biden even had those documents. And am I wrong? Didn't he have documents from when he was a...
Well, I think it's obvious. Yeah, way back to when he was in the Senate. So this is what I think he had them for, right? Make money. You know, he goes to Delaware every weekend, and they do not release the visitor logs to his home in Delaware. The visitor logs are available to the public and the press at the White House, But in Delaware, no visitor logs, and that's where he does his shady business.
Well, he's a shady guy, and we're going to see Trump 2024. It's going to happen. I'm predicting Ron's numbers are going to start to tank because he's starting.
Well, they've already tanked. Trump is double-digit leads. Listen, I got to run. I'm late for the break, Barbara, but take care. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
It's Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands. That's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Brian Craig here. Are you looking for a reliable scooter sales and repair shop? Look no further than Anything Scooters. When my scooter broke down, Anything Scooters took care of everything for me and had me back out on the road in no time. At a great price, too. They have a huge inventory of scooters for sale, both new and used. They offer financing. They also accept trade-ins on all new and used scooter purchases. So don't let that old scooter gather dust in the garage. Trade it in and get a great deal on a new ride. If you're looking to upgrade your scooter's performance, they've got you covered. Their expert technicians can handle anything from simple oil changes to engine rebuilds, even high-performance modifications. At Anything Scooters, they use only top-quality oils and replacement parts to ensure that your scooter runs like it should. They're very friendly and they have great customer service. Visit anythingscooters.com or give them a call directly. 954-226-8710. 954-226-8710. 954-226-8710. Online, anythingscooters.com. Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Now, Father's Day is just a couple of short weeks away. We're at the end of May here. So Father's Day is coming up, and it's coming up quick, people. And I'll tell you, a great gift for every MAGA dad out there is this incredible Trump limited edition print available at patrioticprintsusa.com. Remember, that's Prince with an S. patrioticprintsusa.com. I have two of these. One I keep behind me here in the radio studio. I have one at home on my wall, and it is just a beautiful print. patrioticprintsusa.com commissioned a beautiful watercolor painting from artist Michael Israel, who's a very well-known artist, and they've made these limited edition, which are very limited edition, by the way, prints that they're offering to the listeners of our radio station first. They make a great Father's Day gift, and they are very, very affordable. They come in 3 different sizes. Mine's the largest size. If you want to see what it looks like, go to Patriotic Prints, remember Prince with an S, patrioticprintsusa.com, and order yours. All right? Okay. Now, before I go back to the phones, we have some other breaking news here. President Trump has made an announcement. President Trump, on June 1st, will go on Fox News Channel for a town hall meeting moderated by Sean Hannity. The Trump town hall will air on Fox News Thursday, June 1st from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. It'll be pre-taped earlier in the day in Clive, Iowa. Okay, so that one, now I'm going to ask you guys what you think on this personally, but I do believe that we need to watch that on Fox News Channel. Turn it right on at 9 and turn it right off at 10, but we want Donald Trump to have massive, massive ratings for any television event he does, in particular a town hall. So my immediate gut reaction is watch it. I'm going to watch it. You should too. And turn it off right after. And don't turn it on early. Go right there at 9 and turn it right off at 10. But watch President Trump. Now, they have some other town halls coming up. Haley, Pence, all these snakes and traitors, and Benedict Arnold's. But the Trump one is one we've got to see, okay? And it also shows you how desperate Fox is to try to win us back. They may win us back in that hour, but that's going to be it. And we need Trump to maintain high ratings on his television appearances like this. So it's June 1st, 9 to 10, a Trump town hall hosted by Hannity. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
The whole thing, we know who Bush Santis is, right?
Yes.
Bush Santis wants the arrest. He wants Trump to get arrested, fingerprint, and the whole shebang, right?
Yep.
Because he's a Bushy, and Bushes hate Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Why didn't he come out when all this was going on in the first place, and they raided it, and he said we're gonna come and get Trump? Why didn't he say no? I'm not gonna allow it. Well, I think because he wanted the optics of the arrest, the
correct,
printing, all that stuff,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's why he's a traitor,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, will you go back to Fox to watch the Trump town hall on June 1st?
I will do exactly what you said. 8 o'clock, 8 Eastern.
No, 9 o'clock Eastern. 9 o'clock Eastern. 9 o'clock Eastern. 9 to 10. It's only an hour.
I will turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern.
Okay, there you go. You hear that? We're done with you, Fox. But we're not done with Trump, so we'll go there for Trump. Okay, that's good. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Just for me, Brian.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, the town hall meeting, I agree. We should watch it, but I don't trust Hannity. He might edit or chop it up and say things derogatory of...
Nah, I don't think he'll do that. But typically, the Hannity town halls are not typically that good because he likes to. He doesn't go to the audience. He likes to. He's too in love with his own voice. But no, so will you watch Trump in that 1 hour on Fox News?
I definitely will. Whenever Trump's speaking, I'll watch. And I got something else to say. DeSantis is trying to look relevant by saying he'd pardon J6 prisoners and Trump. He knows Trump and those people are innocent and that Trump shouldn't even be put up with charges. So why isn't he saying that?
Exactly.
He's using that as a ploy for his purpose. And that really bothers me. And as far as DeSantis didn't do a normal with the mainstream news media, a big hoopla of saying he's running for nomination of the Republican president because he couldn't get a third of the crowd that Trump would. That's
right. That's right.
No, there's a big reason why he did that. And one more thing, Trump had those classified documents in a secured room, and he moved them to another secured room, and the FBI came and checked. They said, would you please change the lock? They asked him to change the lock, And he did. And then they raided him. They knew everything he had. They knew they were secure. They asked him to re-secure it, and he did, and they still raided him. It was all another great big lie.
Yeah. Everything they do is another scheme. Hey, Jeff, thanks for the call. You know, I'm a big fan and promoter of Newsmax. I love Newsmax. I promote Newsmax, although last night Newsmax let me down. Eric Bolling did a very long interview with Governor DeSantis, and I watched it. And Eric Bolling was just so weak in that interview. He asked good questions, but he didn't ask the appropriate follow-ups. For example, DeSantis said that he has only met Karl Rove once, and he has not talked to Paul Ryan since he's been governor. Well, that's not the same. Yeah, but what about his proxies? What about his staff? Is Jeb in communication with them about his thing? You know, he didn't follow up into that. DeSantis talked about a lot of these very good conservative things that he's done, which I support, and I know you guys do too. But Bolling didn't get into the fact that we have a 100% Republican control in Tallahassee. Both our houses in the state legislature are Republican and have been since 1998. You know, that's not what he's going to have in Washington. There are no follow-ups about that. It was a weak interview. I like Eric Bolling too, and I don't like to criticize Eric Bolling. You know, he lives here in Palm Beach, and he's a good guy, but he got a free ride. And I would suggest, if anyone from Newsmax is listening this morning, reach out to Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer is probably the leading expert on Ron DeSantis, and even if it's not on the air, I have her on there, help prep your interviewers. But I'd love to have seen, following the DeSantis segment, Laura Loomer on there debunking everything he said. But anyway, if you saw that Bolling interview last night, you know what I mean. It was really kind of sad. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. I've been 2 days to talk to you.
Well, phones are busy around here.
I know. Here's the deal. The people better wake up, okay? This has been since the president came down the escalator that they try to stop him from becoming president with a scheme and a lie. They did it for 4 years here, and they're continuing because they see him in the lead. And I can remember Liz Cheney was smiling, saying he'll never be the nominee. DeSantis is the candidate that is a deep state candidate, whether you want to believe it or not.
Correct.
They are looking at him as the only one that can take Trump down. And the Democrats are behind him. Cuccinelli and that creep, all of them, all of the backstabbers are all for him. We have to realize that we are not voting for president anymore. They are selecting the guy they want to put in there. Donald Trump is like the Beverly Hillbillies when they hit the oil, but they were not welcome into the rich community because they weren't really they lived the old life, so to speak. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Donald Trump is at the Washington D.C. They will do everything in their power to keep him out, including backing DeSantis.
Yeah, and DeSantis, who's a complete traitor, he was the captain of the Yale baseball team. And so was George Bush the father, Bush 41, HW. And even in his book that I threw away at the gas station the other day, DeSantis's book, he talks about he got to meet George H.W. Bush then. That's when they recruited him. He had that connection to the Bush family as being the captain of the Yale baseball team, which H.W. Bush was a big prideful thing in his life. And that's where they recruited him and brought him into the fold. And he's been with them all these years. And we just didn't know it. We just didn't know it.
Let me say this to everyone out there that's listening. A vote for DeSantis throughout the United States is a vote for the establishment. I will not go and vote. If Trump is not the nominee, I will not vote, because voting for DeSantis is keeping the deep state right where it is. No changes.
Do you know? So you're right on the money, Richie. I'm up against the break, and I'll say this as we only have a few seconds left till the top. So call us on hold, stand by. We'll go back to the phones after the break. But Ron DeSantis yesterday said he'd pardon Trump, which is him saying Trump's a criminal, and he also called President Trump a draft dodger. I mean, come on. Thanks, Richie, for your call. How low life can you get? Call President Trump a draft dodger? Really? Are you kidding me? All right, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back with your calls after this break.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Yeah. Brutal. Pretty bad.
Broadcasting from the Rope Studio. Injured recently? Call the Ropes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Ropes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious...
Oh, boy. Yes or no? Will you watch Trump on a Fox Town Hall? Yeah, we got to give him the ratings. Yeah, you got to support Trump. But turn it right off at 10. You got to turn it right off. Yeah, we need Trump to have the numbers, the ratings.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're heading out this morning, there is an accident to look out for on I-95 southbound on Congress Avenue. That accident has the on-ramp closed. Heading over to Congress Avenue at Peninsula Corporate Drive, there's an overturned vehicle in that area.
Oh, that's true. Hannity's in love with the sound of his voice. He gets a little smirk on his face because he's so impressed with what he's saying. I know. I agree. No, but we want Trump to have the ratings. If you watch it somewhere else, he doesn't get the ratings numbers. It's important to give him those numbers. Because if he doesn't have the numbers, they're not going to blame Fox. They'll say, "Oh, support has fallen for Trump," you know. No, we support Trump.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News, I'm Inez de la Quatera. Less than 1 week until the U.S. might default on its debt. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announcing no deal on raising the debt limit.
We know where our differences lie. We've worked throughout the day. We'll continue to try to be able to solve the problem.
The sticking points, and there are more than a few, massive spending cuts and the Trump tax cut.
Speaker McCarthy and I have a very different view of who should bear the burden of additional efforts to get our fiscal house in order. I don't believe the whole burden should fall on the backs of middle class and working class Americans. My House Republican friends disagree.
Long prison terms for convicted insurrectionist Stuart Rhodes, founder of the so-called Oath Keepers, and one of his lieutenants, Kelly Moores, in the insurrection 2 years ago.
PJ just sent me a text, asked me a very good question.
Selection complete in Pittsburgh for the trial of anti-Semite Robert Bowers for the murders of 11 worshipers at a synagogue in 2018. Opening statements set for Tuesday. This is ABC News.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for you to surround people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. Here you see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's gonna give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050,
That's 833-283-5050.
Here we go.
1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. We are back. I just got a text from my friend PJ. You guys know PJ Gladnick. He writes for Newsbusters. He goes on our cruises. He calls in on occasion. I don't know, I got a lot of calls here. Maybe he's on hold, but he sent me a text message. You know, and if you're just tuning in, we got a little bit of breaking news here. Well, I think it's a lot. President Trump on June 1st is going to go on Fox News for a town hall meeting from 9 to 10 p.m. on June 1st, hosted by Sean Hannity. It's in Iowa. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to break my Fox News boycott for just 1 hour. And I would suggest you guys do it too. You all should. We need Trump to get the numbers and the support. But PJ, he texted me during the break. He says, do you think Trump's going to mention the Tucker Carlson firing during that hour? Oh, boy. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? I'd love that. What do you guys think? You think he'll mention Tucker in that town hall? Oh, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Sue from Missouri.
Hey, Sue, what's up?
Yeah, I disagree with you as far as not voting. I think the MAGA movement needs to organize and write Trump in on the ballots. Because if we don't vote, then we're going to wind up with the Democrats.
Well, okay. Now, I would probably, okay, that would be a good thing to do, okay? Write in Donald Trump's name. That would be a beautiful thing to do, and hopefully we'd get a count of how many people did it. But winning the presidency as a write-in candidate is, like, that's dreaming. But that's a good suggestion. Yeah.
If everybody does it, that will just overwhelm. So, I mean, you know, it's an idea. It's better than not voting. Because if we don't vote, then we're going to wind up with another Democrat.
Well, having Ron, what would be the difference in having Ron DeSantis or any Democrat in the White House? What would really be the difference?
There wouldn't be a difference.
Correct.
And
yeah. Okay, I appreciate the call. Great calls today, by the way. I must say, great calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Millington.
Hey.
Yeah, I was just calling to agree with you a little bit on DeSantis, that he's definitely lackluster with his energy. But I will say that I think that the one place that I disagree with you guys on some of where you're looking at it with DeSantis running is that it kind of helps Trump. And it helps Trump in two ways. But one of them has to do with the pardoning part. Said that last night.
Yep.
You know, but if he wouldn't have came out and said that, then you know exactly where he stands.
You know, like I'll play the audio of that. He was on with those no talents that took over Russia's slot, Clay Aiken and Buck Sexton, and they asked him if he would pardon the J6 prisoners and President Trump, and to say, and he gave a long-winded answer, which I may play. To say that he would pardon Trump implies that Trump did something, and not only did he not say that Trump did no wrong, the Clay Aiken Buck Sexton duo didn't either. They said, why, so it was just disgusting, and I'm disgusted by them. And I got to tell you, that interview they did on that show is dishonoring Rush Limbaugh. They spit on his grave yesterday when they asked him about DeSantis about pardoning Trump for January 6th.
Well, I can agree with you there because of what Trump did for Rush. I can agree with you there. But the way that I look at it, you know, the whole Buck and Clay thing and the whole DeSantis interview itself, they didn't post anything behind what they said. It wasn't so much that they were talking about what he did and the crimes against him. It was more of them just explaining that they would pardon.
Now, these guys, listen, they are playing both sides. All these other people play. Let me tell you, what we do on this program is incredibly unique. I am with Donald Trump for life. I am MAGA for life, okay? And all these other guys are all over the place. They play both sides. Mark Levin posted that. I mentioned this yesterday in passing, but I want to talk about it more. He posted the fundraising link to Ron DeSantis' campaign on his Twitter. What the heck is he doing fundraising for Ron DeSantis? He said that Mark Levin responded and said that he posts the link like that for all of his guests. Really? So if Mark Levin had the president of Planned Parenthood on, would he post the link to fundraise for Planned Parenthood? If he had the Teachers Union president on, would he put the fundraising link for the Teachers Union on there? I don't think so.
The way that I think that it helps Trump with all of this DeSantis distraction, and it does help Biden too, because his poll numbers should be suffering a lot worse.
Yeah.
That's besides the fact. What's going on in Ukraine and Russia, they don't even want to talk about it anymore. The people that just got killed on that rush to Stalingrad or wherever they went, they're not going to talk about that. They're going to throw DeSantis in every conversation that they can get because they're trying to keep Biden afloat. Mm-hmm. But what I will say that helps Trump, and this is just strategic, and maybe it's chess, maybe it's checkers, but the pardoning part that DeSantis mentioned puts a stump right in the middle of what the rhinos and the deep state can rip.
If I was asked a question like that, if I were him, if I were DeSantis, and they said, "Would you pardon Trump?" I say, "Pardon him for what? He did no wrong. He was cleared by Liz Cheney's Kangaroo Committee. He's been cleared by the Durham Report. He's been cleared in everything they've accused him of. There's nothing for me to pardon him for. He did no wrong." Not this long-winded gobbledygook answer. Ron DeSantis thinks Donald Trump is going to get arrested and he'll be able to get the nomination because Trump will be arrested and not be able to be on the ballot. That's DeSantis' entire campaign strategy. And I got news for you, Ron DeSantis. If there was a recall, possibly, we don't have a recall system in Florida like they have in other states. If there was a recall system in place, there would be a very active recall movement going on right now against Ron DeSantis by the Republicans of Florida. Florida Republicans are pissed off at him. He says he's busy taking care of Florida. When's the last time he was in Florida? Every time I see him, he's in New Hampshire, he's in Iowa, he's in Korea. Give me a break.
My question, and I'll hang up after this because I don't want to take up too much time. But if there's room for coalescing, right, then that leaves room for movement, right? So even with the Clay and the Buck people, they might not be on the Trump coattails, but if things continue to gradually edge towards Trump, do you see the possibility with him saying that he would pardon him, that this all could be lining up, even with his...
No, there's no lining up. And so far as Clay Aiken and Buck Sexton, Buck Sexton's background, right?
Yeah.
He's CIA. He's CIA. Once you're CIA, you're always CIA. So Rush Limbaugh's show's been taken over by the deep state. All right, we got a CIA guy took over for Rush Limbaugh. Are you kidding me?
Felt about it as well. But, the coalescing part of it is what I'm saying is that as long as we stand with our guy and we let them know that we're not going to even vote for him in this state for president, then that's going to leave the door open for him to have to coalesce. And that's the only...
This is when it will be over. This is when it will be over for DeSantis, okay? When the Florida primary happens and he gets creamed as the sitting governor. They're going to,
Do you think it's going to get that far then?
Yeah, look at this. I cannot believe this fake. Oh, he raised $8 million after the announcement on the Twitter Spaces. I'm sure. Yeah, but who gave him that money? And they were probably holding it in reserve. I wonder if any of those donors want their money back after that abortion of the Twitter Spaces thing. Come on. They were holding it. Anyway, I got to run for the break. I'm getting pissed. We're talking about DeSantis. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey,
Hi, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we loved them. We absolutely loved them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
This Kia sales event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Make that switch to City Kia.
Get ready for the main event. Thank you for making City Kia the #1 Kia dealer in all of Central Florida and top 10 in the USA. 2 years in a row. Some dealers claim to give you 10, 15, 20,000 over Kelly Blue Book. Does that seem real to you? We didn't think so. City Kia will beat any valid offer in the USA on an in-stock new Kia or pay you $500. City Kia is the #1 certified
Mike, we gotta. You might as well have a Democrat if you have DeSantis.
Drive a little, save a lot. Nobody beats a City Kia deal. Nobody. It's the main event. Visit us at citykia.com.
Make that switch to City Kia.
Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass stone coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure. How would you like to lose weight, look better, and feel better about yourself? Brian Craig here. Great new message. Their new semi-glutide treatment burns fat, boosts energy levels, suppresses appetite, balances blood sugar, and promotes rapid weight loss. Elegant Youth is in the Salem Foot Plaza, right next to any lab test now of Boca. Give them a call right now, 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Online at elegantyouthboca.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right. And, of course, open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have in your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You know, the sponsors we have here on the show, we find them through a variety of ways. And sometimes we find them because we need, Steve or I need some help. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate, for example. I had this Jeep Wrangler years ago that had the big four-wheel drive tires on it. I loved that Jeep until the day after I bought it, and I had to put the top back up. Oh my goodness. But then I really hated it when I got the tires. I needed new tires, and they were expensive. So I sought out affordable tires, and I found Friendly Tire in Margate. They've been with us. And Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano is another example of that. Steve had this neuropathy that was so bad he couldn't get out of bed. He was like Charlie Buckett's parents and Willy Wonka. He couldn't get out of bed. And we had two things coming up. We had the that appearance where they called the cops on us, right? Remember that at the Festival Flea Market? And we had the cruise. And Steve's like, this neuropathy, I'm in pain, I'm suffering, I can't stand up, I'm dizzy. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And he went to his doctor. His doctor said there's nothing he can do about neuropathy. He got a referral to a neurologist that was recommended to him. The neurologist said, that's your life, you're done, nothing can happen. And we had the appearance coming up, and we had the cruise. So we were kind of pressed. We got to do something. And we found Lighthouse Medical Center. And they have a treatment for neuropathy that works. And we were able to do both of those things with Steve because, well, they rid him of all those neuropathy symptoms. It's absolutely amazing. They can do the same for you. Now, I'm going to give you the number in a moment, but I want to tell you a couple things. First, mention you heard about them on the show because you get a no-charge consultation if you do. Now, they're located in Pompano. No matter where you're located, they can help you. If you can't make it into the office and you're even local in town, maybe you don't drive. Maybe your neuropathy is so bad you can't drive to Pompano. Call them. They can still help you, all right? They're online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. That's lighthousemedicalcenter.com. The number 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, first thing I'd like to mention, you know, the picture you have behind you, President Trump. Yesterday, wanted to mention you had the light from above over his head, and it looked like a halo, so it was kind of cute. Not today, but anyway.
How do you know that was from a light I had overhead? Maybe that was a miracle.
Maybe it was. Yeah. Anyway, this DeSantis guy, boy, when he decided to say that he would pardon President Trump, that was the last turnoff for me, man. This guy is done. You know, and then Aaron Bolin lets him off too easy. You know, he says, "Oh, I think I'm the only guy that can win." Oh, wait a minute. Don't you look at the polls, buddy? You know, you're way behind in the polls. There's no chance.
You know, Eric Bolling, I like Eric Bolling, and I like Newsmax, and I'm very reluctant to criticize Eric Bolling because I like him a lot, and he's a great guy, and he lives in Palm Beach, so he's local. You know, he can be listening. That interview with DeSantis was awful. You know, you're right. When he asked very good questions, but he didn't ask the follow-ups. The one example you just gave is a spectacular example. I'm the only one that can win. Well, Governor, President Trump is 28 points ahead of you among Republican likely voters in the most recent Florida poll. You're the sitting governor. You were just reelected, yet you're almost 30 points behind President Trump. If you can't win Florida, how can you win the country? He didn't ask him that, Eric Bolling. Eric Bolling is very good, but he's better as a panelist. You know, he can be the lead guy on a panel, like The Five or The Specialist that he did on Fox for a while. But a solo act, he's not. He's just not a solo act. Listen, all of us that do this kind of work have weaknesses. The great Rush Limbaugh was weak when it came to hostile callers. That's my strength. That's Steve's strength, dealing with liberal jerks and lowlives on the phones. But Rush couldn't do that. We all have our weaknesses. My weaknesses, well, I can't really think of any right now, but if I did, I wouldn't share them with you anyway. You'd use them against me, you know. I don't know why, I don't know why Superman told everybody kryptonite would kill him. But Eric Bolling, that interview with DeSantis was weak. And it was weak. I mean, I would have thrown that to DeSantis like that. Well, that poll where Trump is 28 points ahead in Florida, a Florida poll. He mentioned the polls. He mentioned that Trump's ahead in the polls, but it was a vague question, and he didn't do the follow-up about the. I would have asked him about the polls, which would have been I give you a little bit of the behind the scene. Okay, like whenever you hear me ask a caller, a liberal jerk on the line, a question, I know what I'm gonna. I'm in my mind. I'm 5 beats ahead of of that original question. Okay, you know, like that call with Liberal Al in the first segment. I would have asked DeSantis the same question Eric Bolling did about the polls, and then when he gave that answer, I would have come in with the Florida poll where he's 30 points behind Trump. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say, well, you're behind 30 points in the poll. How are you going? I would have set him up with that. But Bolling sucked. It was bad.
Yeah, man, it was terrible. And, you know, the thing that gets me is this guy, if he would have kept his mouth shut and been quiet, he would have become president in the next cycle. You know, instead now, I don't think he's going to get any way to be president even how many years down the road.
Well, the one thing that really, you know, in that interview, and by the way, guys, go over it. Don't do it now. When we're not on the go look at that poll. I mean that interview with Bolling with DeSantis. You know, he asked great questions. There was no follow up. Like another one, Eric Bolling asked DeSantis last night about his connections to Rove and Paul Ryan. He says, I've only met Karl Rove once, and I haven't talked to Paul Ryan since I became governor. Well, what about it? What about his donors? What about the people on his staff, on his campaign? Have they? Come on. Have they talked to Karl Rove's staff? Have they talked to Paul Ryan's people? What about your donors? I'm hearing the Koch brothers have been done. There was no follow-up. It was really an embarrassment. There's no bigger champion of Newsmax than me, but that's not the Newsmax of Chris Ruddy that I saw last night. I'm sorry, Eric Bolling. I'm sorry.
Without a doubt. I mean, DeSantis is delusional thinking he's going to win. I mean, I don't know why, but whatever. The guy has made a terrible mistake, and he's going to pay the price. There's no way that once he gets on that stage, he's going to wish he. Can you imagine he's going to be standing next to President Trump, and being as short as he is, he's going to look not presidential at all, and it's going to be a joke.
Well, he already is. That Twitter Spaces was that was his fault. That wasn't Elon Musk's fault. That was not Elon Musk's fault. That was DeSantis's fault. The buck stops here. You know, you if I were going to do something like that, like I give a great example. Carrie Lake, right? When Carrie Lake was running for governor, Carrie Lake did two things that others did not do that in this kind of position. And I hope she advises President Trump on this a lot. When she was doing interviews, when she was running for governor that were television interviews, she was filming with a professional camera and sound the entire thing behind the scenes in case they chopped it up. And remember, she did an interview with this liberal jerk in Australia, and they tried to chop it up, and then she showed what really happened. And she also controlled her own lighting and everything, and didn't let them do it, so they couldn't make her look bad like they used to do to Sarah Palin in 2008. And she did what she did was amazing. If you're Ron DeSantis and you do something like that, you have to have your people go to Twitter and make sure that they can handle 1 million people on that thing. Make sure it's all going to work out. Do some test runs. What he should have done was, did that, first of all. Going there on an untested platform was stupid. But he should have done his announcement like a normal person and then done an interview afterwards. And he's incompetent. He's never worked in the private sector. He's worked for the government his whole life, so far as I know. And he's incompetent, as most government workers are.
Not ready for prime time, as they say. I don't know who's in his ear telling him he could do this. I guess they've given him a good paycheck, and I guess that's the only reason I can figure it. Because if the guy has any common sense, he say, I can't. First of all, I got to be loyal to President Trump. He made me governor, and I have no chance to get president.
Mm-hmm. All right, I appreciate the call, Doug. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm first warning meteorologist Vanessa Menendez from WPBF 25 News. The first half of the day looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine, but then we'll see another round of heavy rains passing through South Florida later this afternoon and continuing into the evening hours. Temperatures will be in the 80s and less rain coverage on your Saturday and Sunday.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're heading up this morning,
there's one thing I don't know. There's one thing I actually don't know about this. Why does President Trump call DeSantis Rob? His name's Ronald. So what's the Rob thing about? I've missed that. What is that about? Rob, R-O-B. Because President Trump keeps calling him Rob, and others are doing it. I'm not sure what that's about.
Traffic, a
members of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
I don't know if you guys know what it's about either.
Camp Rusty Dog Retreat at PBKC is a daycare and boarding facility that offers a perfect combination of outside adventures and cozy indoor cabin time. And Camp Rusty is open every day with 24/7 drop-off and pickup and is conveniently located right across from PBIA. So come for a free tour or give us a call at 561-640-7856 or go to camprusty.com.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE, free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in there to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning.
All right, we're coming back.
I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
All right, here we go.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, and it is open phones today, open MAGA Mike Friday. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Griff from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Griff.
Hey, I just had a question. Have you ever heard of a guy, he's a mega billionaire and a donor. His last name is Griffin, and apparently he has given a large campaign money to DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere along the line, supposedly backed Obama.
Yeah. No, I've heard that. Yeah. So Ron DeSantis, they figure they can control him with the money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. If he was tied in, obviously, it's not very good. If he,
these big donors, they donate money for paybacks. Come on, they don't. Very few of them donate money because they care. It's a business transaction. They donate as much money as they're allowed to by law to a candidate, and they expect some favors in return.
Yes, that's why I was trying to bring the point up about that. That it can't be good if he also donated to Obama. I mean, there's something not right with why he has donated so much.
Yeah. Well, the donors, see, this whole debt ceiling talk, which is terminally boring, the thing that they're debating on how much their donors are going to get paid back. They're getting all their little earmarks put into the bill. It's all a fake story. The donor, it's a money laundering operation. These donors buy off these politicians and they pay them back with these bills.
So from what you're hearing, though, I am correct, and this guy isn't a mega donor to.
Well, I don't know about this particular guy, but if what you're telling me he's no longer supporting Trump and he's supporting DeSantis, that's not good. Hey, listen, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. It's Taj.
Hey, Taj.
And I just wanted to share my thoughts on the independents. There was a poll, I think a few weeks ago, that showed Trump beating Biden. It was like 26-70 or something like that, as far as independents go. And that's the poll. No one was focusing on how well DeSantis would be doing against Biden with independents, because I remember the last election, with Trump and Biden, it was close to 50-50, but this shows a 25-point at least shift or more that, that people know what Trump was, and independents are the most likely to change their minds. I mean, I'm an independent, but I've been going south for years.
I don't think that independent thing is really what it used to be. I think that's just, a lot of these things like that are things that they talk about in cable news, the soccer mom, suburban this, college educated, non-college educated. They got a lot of time to fill, and they just make up a bunch of BS to make them sound like they know what they're talking about. I don't. When it comes to people that are going to vote in this country, pretty much everyone's decided. Hey, listen, Taj, appreciate the call, and I'm glad he mentioned the polls, because I have the latest polls right here in my hand, and I wanted to get to these earlier, and I'd forgotten. By the way, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. These are the latest polls. Okay, this is the Emerson poll. Out of Iowa, okay? The latest poll out of Iowa, you got Trump, DeSantis, Haley, Pence, Ramaswamy, Tim Scott, Hutchinson, and Sununu, okay? They're all, so it's up to date with the latest Benedict Arnolds that are running against our great President Trump. But this is the latest poll out of Iowa, the Emerson poll. Trump at 62, DeSantis at 20, which means President Trump is ahead by 42 points in Iowa. Latest poll, just out, 42 points ahead of DeSantis in Iowa. The Fox News poll, this is a nationwide poll. Oh, by the way, Trump at 62, DeSantis at 20, Nikki Haley at 5, Pence at 5, Ramaswamy 2, Tim Scott 3, Hutchinson and Sununu both have 1 in that poll. Okay, but President Trump, 42 points ahead of DeSantis in the latest poll out of Iowa. The Fox News poll nationwide, Trump at 53, DeSantis at 20, giving President Trump a 33-point lead in the latest Fox News nationwide poll. Let's see here. The Marquette poll, nationwide Republican presidential nomination, Trump at 46, DeSantis at 25, President Trump a 21-point lead. Okay, so I mean this is amazing stuff. Those are the latest polls that are out today. President Trump a double-digit lead, massive double-digit lead against Ron DeSantis in every single poll. And this thing, well, I'm not running, and when I'm running, I'm going to get the bump. Looks like he's got an anti-bump, right? Yeah, exactly. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jacques from Fort Lauderdale. I love this shirt, Brian.
Oh, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt today.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I saw it on YouTube, brother.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, buddy. Go to DeSantis.
What? What did you say?
I say go to DeSantis.
Why do you want DeSantis to, where do you want him to go?
Oh, for the president, right?
Why? Why do you want Ron DeSantis to be the president instead of Trump? Speak up so we can hear.
He's just a better guy to me, man. Give the guy a chance.
What makes him, okay, give me an example of something that makes him better than Trump as a man. You said he's a better guy than Trump. You say he's a better man than Trump. Give me an example of how Ron DeSantis is a better man than Trump. Oh, he hung up. He hung up. I did not hang up on him. He hung up. Oh, my goodness. I will give that caller credit for an attempt at technique. Okay? He was an epic fail, and he didn't think far enough ahead, and he hung up on his... I did not hang up on that caller. Do you see what he did? That was an attempt at a technique. He started with a compliment, complimenting my Hawaiian shirt that I'm wearing, and then he went in for the attack, right? That's a technique. He's not good at it, but it's a definite technique. Now, President Trump has actually spoken out about Governor DeSantis, and he posted 3 videos to Truth Social. Let me play these for you. Hold on a second here, because I think they're all very, very good, of course, and I know you will too. And I'll play them in order so that we have context. This is President Trump. He posted these on Truth Social yesterday.
In December of 2017, Ron DeSantis was polling at 5% in the Republican primary for governor of Florida. 5%. DeSantis had virtually no endorsements and was being drastically outraised by Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam, the widely viewed favorite. He was going to win. He was going to win easy. He was way up. Ron had 0 chance of winning. On December 21st, 2017, a man named President Donald J. Trump endorsed in support of Ron DeSantis. His polling skyrocketed, and DeSantis won the Republican primary 57-37. He was down so many points, and all of a sudden he wins by 20. He was already looking for jobs. But he did it because of President Trump. Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know. Nice guy, right? Exactly. Exactly. All right, here's the next. He did 3 in a row. Here's the next one.
Ron DeSantis facts come out, you will see that he's better than most Democrat governors, but very average at best compared to Republican governors who have done a fantastic job. How about the fact that he had the 3rd most deaths of any state having to do with the China virus or COVID? Even Cuomo did better. He was number 4. He shut down everything, including the beaches. Other Republican governors didn't do that. They kept it open. It was their choice. I gave them all their choice. The Democrats blew it big. A lot of Republican governors did a fantastic job. And look at Disney and what a mess it is. Could have worked out an easy settlement, but no, he wanted to show the fake news how tough a guy he is. He's not. And the whole Disney thing is really very unfortunate. Now thousands and thousands of jobs are being stopped, and a lot of people are very upset about it. Thank you.
Okay, and then there's one more. These are all videos that the president put up yesterday, and this is the last one.
Rob DeSantis and his poll numbers are dropping like a rock. I would almost be inclined to say these are record falls. The question, is Rob just young, inexperienced, and naive, or, more troubling, Is he a fool who has no idea what the hell he's doing? We already have one of those in office. We don't need another one. We need MAGA, Make America Great Again. That's what we want. Make America Great Again. We have no choice. This is the last shot we've got at it. If we don't win this time, our country's in really big trouble. Thank you.
Oh, those are great. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, what do you have for us today?
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Great, how are you?
Good, good. Well, when people think about protecting their family, getting their estate planning done, there are many choices out there in the market. First of all, there are online options. People can go to lawyers, and there's lawyers at different levels. For example, there are lawyers who do a little bit of everything. You know, if you need a personal injury case, if you need a bankruptcy, if you need to have a real estate closing, and if you need a will, they can find a way to do that too. But they know a little bit about.
You agree? You have a law. You've obviously been very aggressive legally in what you can and cannot.
Practice in the area of estate planning, and I'm sure they could do a very good job as well. One of the things that makes Siegel Law Group different is not only do we
well, I can tell you this
planning part, but the elder law, which goes hand in hand. Therefore, when you do an estate plan, we also want to make sure that you're protected, so that down the road, if you or your spouse become ill and you need care, you don't have to spend down your assets and potentially go broke or get close to going broke, because you know, really, what's the point of having a great estate plan and leaving everything the way you would want it, and protecting your family if you lose it all during your lifetime? So we're focused on protecting you during your lifetime, and then only you leave a legacy for the people you love and leave behind, and make the whole process easy and not leaving a mess behind. So that's what we do at the Siegel Law.
That's right, and remember, it is always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the show, you can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or call toll-free 855-FLA 3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Back after this.
Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back, and as Father's Day approaches, just a couple of short weeks away, you still have time to go to patrioticprints.usa.com and order a gift that every MAGA dad out there would love. And this is this incredible limited edition print of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. And, you know, they send these things out fast, okay? They come fast, so there's plenty of time. It's patrioticprints.usa.com. That's Prince with an S. And what had happened here is patrioticprints.usa.com commissioned this beautiful watercolor painting from a very well-known artist, Michael Israel. And they took that painting and they created these limited edition prints, which are very affordable, that they are offering to our radio listeners before anyone else. And these are very limited. They come in 3 different sizes. I have the largest size, and they are very affordable. If you want to see what this beautiful limited edition print of our great president looks like, just go to their website, patrioticprints.usa.com. Remember, Prince with an S. patrioticprints.usa.com. Also, not only got the perfect Father's Day gift, also a portion of each print sold is donated to President Trump's official 2024 re-election campaign. This is a great MAGA company based right here in Florida. patrioticprints.usa.com. That's Prince with an S. patrioticprints.usa.com. Okay, so I was talking at the top of the first hour that I realized yesterday what Ron DeSantis' campaign strategy is. Double digits behind Trump in every poll, including the most up-to-date polls that we have this morning. And you, by the way, those polls, go to Real Clear Politics and check them out, okay? Don't just take my word for it. And there are polls, Trump versus Biden, and Trump's doing very well in those too, but I'm just focusing in on the Republican primaries right now. President Trump has a double-digit lead in every poll. Every poll. It's a disaster. It's not even a credible campaign. And I've been trying to figure out how out of touch is Ron DeSantis. Well, he's out of touch with reality, no doubt about it. He's also out of touch with the pulse of Republican voters here in Florida. But I realized what his strategy was yesterday. And it came out with this Jack Smith Mar-a-Lago classified documents racket that they're running against President Trump. Ron DeSantis believes President Trump is going to be arrested and will not be able to run. And that he since he's number 2, even though he's so far behind, that he'll be the nominee. And he figures that we are stupid, that MAGA voters are stupid, and will vote for him because we would rather vote for a Republican than let a Democrat win. And that's just not going to be the case. Okay? I think there'll be a massive movement by MAGA voters to do 2 things. 1, write in Donald Trump's name, and 2, don't even vote. There'll be a massive protest against a Ron DeSantis nomination if it were to happen. And I had a conversation with Liberal Al in the first hour, who cleared President Trump after my questioning. But the Washington Post is reporting Trump employees moved boxes the day before the Department of Justice went to Mar-a-Lago. Well, I don't even know what that means, but what I do know is this, is that Mar-a-Lago is a fortified fortress that is protected by federal agents 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. The United States Secret Service. Everything at Mar-a-Lago is secure. This idea that it's unsecure, like it's next to Biden's Corvette in his garage where Hunter's having his drug and hooker parties, it's just not the same situation. At no point, you read through this, were these documents not secure. So but Ron DeSantis' fantasy is that Trump's going to be arrested. That'll make him the nominee and Trump will be on the ballot. That's his whole, think about it. That's what he's basing his whole campaign strategy around. In my opinion, based on what I'm watching. All right, our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Remember, it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, John from the Green.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen, okay, so Ron DeSantis is your guy too. And Trump is your guy, right? Because you were just saying, oh, I can't wait till Ron DeSantis runs for president, let's go, on a couple of shows, earlier. So, Trump is your guy, right?
Yeah. Please, can you turn the volume down of the radio in the background? And but to answer your question, yes, Trump is the guy. He's my guy. I'm Trump for life.
Okay. I respect that. But Trump is not above the fence. He's going to go to jail. That's what I was just...
Go to jail? What's he going to go to jail for?
I don't know. Whatever the feds have...
You don't know? What is? You say Trump's going to go to jail. What's he going to go to? What did he do wrong? What crime did he commit?
Whatever crime they're committing him up.
What? Okay, there was a little language there. I have to err on the side of caution sometimes. Let me explain to people about the dump button, because I know people that are new to the show don't understand the dump button. We're on a delay. What you're hearing on the radio was said a little bit ago. And the reason we're on a delay is there are some things, profanities, that you can't say on the radio. Okay? So if someone says one of these words, we dump it so it doesn't go out over the air. Okay? And sometime, and I'm pretty good with this, we use the dump button more than any other radio program anywhere in this country because our liberal callers, they just use words all the time. I mean, it's crazy. I've used the dump button so much it gave me arthritis in my index finger on my right hand. I'm serious. That's how I developed arthritis, was the profanities from the caller. So the dump button, a lot of people think we dump content because it doesn't agree. No. When someone uses a word that we don't, you can't allow over the radio, and there's a variety of them. Someone said the S word a couple days ago, a nice lady. Someone said the F word the other day. We dump it so it doesn't go out over the air. Sometimes with these liberal callers, they get very mumbly, and I'm only about 96, 97% sure they said the profanity. I have to err on the side of caution. And that last guy, I'm about 98, 99% sure that he used one of the words. So you always have to err on the side of caution with these people. And it's an unfortunate thing. But you heard what he said. Trump's going to go to jail. Well, what? Whatever they got on him. You know, the FBI, I give an example, and I'll use this example because that guy is black, and maybe this will make more sense. The great Martin Luther King, one of the greatest Americans who ever lived. What are some of these terrible things you've heard about Martin Luther King, right? Oh, he cheated on his wife with white women. You ever hear that stuff? Oh, yes, he was traveling around in the civil rights movement. He was having sex with white women all over the place. Have you ever seen any of these women come forward with those stories? Do you know where that came from? This whole story that Martin Luther King was cheating on his wife with white women during the civil rights movement from city to city. Do you know where that came from? The FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, okay? And if you noticed, it was always white women. Really? A lot of white women wanted to have sex with black men in the early 60s and late 50s in the South? I don't think so. It was a different time. But the reason it was white women is because they were trying to discredit Martin Luther King, who was an activist leader, much like our great President Donald Trump, and a civil rights leader, both of them. And they were attempting to discredit Martin Luther King among whites who he was gathering a lot of support for. So the deep state thought if they start spreading these stories that Martin Luther King is having affairs in every city on his wife with white women, that would turn people against Dr. King. It's the FBI. That's where all that came from. And that last caller, and there's other examples. I use that one because the caller I was just talking to from Fort Lauderdale is black, and maybe that would make some sense to him. But his Trump derangement syndrome is pretty deep. And he said, Trump's going to go to jail, so DeSantis is going to be your guy. And I said, what's he going to go to jail for? And he said, whatever the FBI's got on him, he said to me. Whatever the FBI's got. The FBI that was spreading the lies about Martin Luther King. Do you know who broke the Monica Lewinsky story? Who broke the story that the President of the United States was having sex in the Oval Office with a 25-year-old intern? Do you know who broke it? It wasn't Matt Drudge. How did that story break? Do you guys know? The FBI. That's correct. The FBI. Yeah. All these stories, FBI, deep state, you know. So a lot of these things that we take for granted are true stories of the past, like that thing I just shared about Martin Luther King, are all creations of the deep state. They've got nothing on Trump because he's done nothing. He has not broken the law. And you can't trust these people that are always running a scheme against President Trump. You know, these donors to Ron DeSantis, if you look at what's going on with Ron DeSantis right now, double-digit lead by President Trump in every poll. He cannot win the primaries, and they keep saying, Iowa, New Hampshire, these are so important. President Trump has a double-digit lead in Iowa, New Hampshire, and Florida. And the only place it's close is in Georgia, and President Trump has an 8-point lead in Georgia. Within the margin of error, that takes it up to 11, okay, because it's a 3-point margin of error in that poll. Double-digit lead everywhere. DeSantis cannot win the primaries against Donald Trump. So what's going on here? The only conclusion I can think of is that DeSantis thinks, like this last guy I was just talking to from Fort Lauderdale. And by the way, Fort Lauderdale, where was Governor DeSantis when Fort Lauderdale was flooded a few weeks ago? Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're coming up on our top of the hour break. Someone just asked me off air, why did the FBI go after the Monica Lewinsky thing with... George W. Bush sent the FBI after... the Clintons, H.W. Bush. George H.W. Bush was ticked off and humiliated that he lost to Bill Clinton and he was FBI, deep state, and sent them after him to humiliate Bill Clinton. That's what that was about. It was Bush revenge. Like is going on now is Bush revenge. Jeb didn't get the nomination. He was supposed to in 2016. So the Bushes are enacting their revenge on the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top and come back with your calls after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK
Brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture, Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Road construction that has 2 lanes closed. Heading over to I-95 in Boca Raton, I-95 southbound at Congress Avenue, there is a crash that has the on-ramp closed. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. And that's traffic. I'm Daphne Smith.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, off-track betting, paddock dining, and exciting events. Visit the Paddock Restaurant, the ultimate dining, sports, and event experience with USDA prime steaks, fresh seafood, an impressive wine list, and a full bar. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News, I'm Inez de la Quatera. Less than 1 week until the U.S. might default on its debt.
There is no agreement.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announcing no deal on raising the debt limit.
We know where our differences lie. We've worked throughout the day and we'll continue to work to try to be able to solve the problem.
The sticking points, and there are more than a few, massive spending cuts and the Trump tax cut.
Speaker McCarthy and I have a very different view of who should bear the burden of additional efforts to get our fiscal house in order. I don't believe the whole burden should fall on the backs of middle class and working class Americans. My House Republican friends disagree.
Long prison terms for convicted insurrectionist Stuart Rhodes, founder of the so-called Oath Keepers, and one of his lieutenants, Kelly Meggs, in the insurrection 2 years ago. 18 years for Rhodes, 12 for Meggs. Jury selection complete in Pittsburgh for the trial of anti-Semite Robert Bowers for the murders of 11 worshipers at a synagogue in 2018. Opening statements set for Tuesday. This is ABC News.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
This Kia sales event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Make that switch to City Kia.
Get ready for the main event. Thank you for making City Kia the #1 Kia dealer in all of Central Florida and top 10 in the USA 2 years in a row. Some dealers claim to give you 10, 15, 20,000 over Kelly Blue Book. Does that seem real to you? We didn't think so. City Kia will beat any valid offer in the USA on in-stock
or check out the menu at chatterheadsusa.com.
Gold, silver, copper, precious metals, battery metals, green metals, stocks, and the potential for a 5 or 10 times does exist. Listen and learn. The Ellis Martin Report, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. here on South Florida's True Oldie.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, man. Great calls today so far. We'll see if it continues.
Any whispers on your web,
Yes, the internet.
about this pending Trump arrest?
Yeah. That's what I've been talking about. It's over this. Well, we don't have a date or a time, but yeah. Well, they're always saying it's about the classified documents case. That's what they're going to try to get him on. Yeah. Good luck. Well, tell him. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. It's Juan. I got to say that this is the most educated audience in all of radio, and I'm not going to put a qualifying statement to that. But having said that, yesterday when I called in, you put words in my mouth after what we hung up. And that is to say, it's Trump and or DeSantis. I've always said Trump first. And then DeSantis is doing a bang-up job. There was a caller yesterday that said, hey, stop trashing DeSantis. I agree with that. That's not just for the MAGA movement. But I'm not worried about the MAGA movement because we know that Trump is going to go first.
Really? Let me tell you something. Slow down. I want to comment on something you're saying here before you say other things, and then we forget about this one. DeSantis is doing great. He's done a lot of things which obviously we support. He's got a Republican House and Senate in Tallahassee that's very conservative, okay, which is not the situation in Washington. But for example, he is attacking Trump on the Eric Bolling interview last night. He says Trump's taking Disney's side. I'm going against Disney. Disney just did massive layoffs. They're laying off. I'm not talking about the jobs that didn't happen because of that business thing. They're laying off thousands of Floridians in Florida because of the attack on the company by Ron DeSantis. Now, I know Ron DeSantis with his cowboy boots on and everything else is a big tough guy, but what about those thousands of people in Orlando that are out of work because of him? Is that a good job as the governor?
Well, the thing is, when you're talking about that, those jobs that so-called DeSantis cost, I got young kids in school. He's doing it because these people are bringing their woke agenda over here to our school. And that's why I'd rather lose jobs than lose.
But it's not your, excuse me, it's not your job being lost. So I'm so glad that you're willing to lose jobs for other people. You're a tough guy. Thanks for standing on the wall. That's wonderful. Juan's willing to sacrifice other people's jobs for the right thing. Boy, Juan, what a brave man you are.
Yeah, to protect our kids, yes. Because
okay, so this is interesting. To protect kids, you're willing to sacrifice other people's jobs. That's what you said. Juan, you okay? Okay. Oh, my goodness. Call back, Juan. Come on, call back. We're not done yet. I'm not giving him a tough time, but what he said's ridiculous. I mean, he's giving himself a tough time. I'm willing to sacrifice other people's jobs for the right thing.
Well, it was
brave.
A good point.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kept going back to it. But Juan, please call back, because I think I might have disconnected you by accident, putting the next caller on hold. Hold on, this might be Juan. So I was putting the other callers on hold, and I think I might have disconnected Juan by accident. Juan he's back. Okay, finish up, Juan. Go ahead.
Well, no, here's the other thing. I already said what I was going to say about that. MLK, which you just brought up, he's a hero on the right and the left. And let me tell you something. He's the one that also brokered the black vote to the Democrat Party, which has cost conservative elections in the past.
What happened? Okay, slow down. Slow down. Do you know why that happened? Martin Luther King was a Republican, and then something happened, and he endorsed Kennedy. Do you know what happened?
Well, he was the one that signed the deal with Lyndon L.B.
No. Let me tell you what happened, okay? I'll tell you exactly what happened, Juan. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, they were all Republicans. A Democrat sheriff in the South, I cannot remember what state, a Democrat senator in the South had arrested in the middle of the night Martin Luther King, took him out to the county jail and locked him up. This was during the presidential campaign of 1960 between Kennedy and Nixon, okay? And Coretta Scott King, Dr. King's wife, called the Kennedys and called Nixon and was trying to get Martin Luther King out of the jail because the sheriff was going to lynch him. The Democrat sheriff was going to lynch him. Richard Nixon couldn't get him out of jail. Why do you think that is? There was no internet or big news. Richard Nixon couldn't get it. The sheriff was going to lynch Martin Luther King. He was in the jail. Coretta Scott King said, "Please, Mr. Vice President Nixon, the sheriff's going to lynch my husband." Nixon couldn't get him out of the jail. Why do you think that is?
He was in the South.
No, well, Nixon was a Republican. He didn't have Jews. They got a hold of the Kennedys, and the Kennedys got him out of jail. Because why? Why did the Kennedys get him out of jail and he didn't get lynched?
Democrats.
Well,
correct. And the sheriff said, "Listen here, boy. We're going to let you out of jail and not lynch you, but you're going to go out there and you're going to endorse Senator Kennedy for president or you're dead." So we did it. So the Kennedys and the Democrats threatened to murder him if he didn't endorse President Kennedy. And so he did it to save his life. That's what happened, and that's a true story.
Okay, I believe you. I mean, I didn't know that.
So since you're sacrificing other people's jobs for the right thing, do you think Martin Luther King should have been lynched? Should he have allowed himself to be murdered that day?
What you did was reaffirm my point, which is MLK delivered the black vote to the Democrats to this very day. That you just reaffirmed it. That's all you did. As far as
that's all I did.
You guys are on the same side.
No, we're not on the right side. No, we're not. We're not agreeing. We're not. Listen, Juan is looking for some positive affirmations for his DeSantis support.
No, I support DeSantis.
There he goes. He supports DeSantis. Yeah.
I support Trump for president.
But
it has to be either or.
But
it has to be either or. No, I didn't say but. You said that.
So when. What else do you got, Juan? I beat you up pretty good, so I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, no, you didn't beat me up.
I know. Oh, yeah, we'll let the audience, I'll take calls to critique this conversation. I'm open for that. I'm not afraid. All right, take care. If you have some opinions on that call with Juan, you're welcome to call in. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve and Brian. How you doing?
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. This is Barbara in Sunrise.
Hey,
I just wanted to call. Hi, sweetie. I just wanted to call and tell you thank you for recommending Tom Laporta and Laporta Contracting.
Yeah. Tom's a great guy.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. They saved my sanity, and I've got a new roof because of them. And it was cost effective. Tom helped me find the financing I needed for it, and he's wonderful. They're all wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. And Tom Laporta, he covers Florida East Coast and West Coast and every place in between. And when you call Tom Laporta, the number, I'm going to give you the number now. This is an untimed spot, but I'm going to give the number now. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. All right, he's a good MAGA guy, and the response time of Laporta Contracting, they almost qualify as a first. They almost qualify as a first responder. Right? I mean, they get back to you so quick. Yeah, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online LaportaContracting.com. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care, bye.
All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with
Great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure.
Did you get those, Mike? Did you get those ones last week? Because Did you get those ones last week? I never got those. Remember maybe you didn't send them to me, or maybe they went to my spam. Can you text them to me?
I was about to say,
Yeah, text them to me. Yeah, because I'll make those spots over the weekend. The one for the portrait.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, I didn't get those. Yeah. It might have.
Yeah,
Can you text them to me?
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida.
No, got one. Okay. Is it one file or two?
222-6642. That's 754.
Perfect. Great. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Just got them.
Welcome to Ethos, a new kind of insurance company that believes life insurance should be hassle-free, affordable, and accessible for everyone.
For around $1 a day, I got a
I am starving.
$50,000 term life insurance policy without a medical exam. All I had to do was answer a few health questions and snap, family protected. It was quick and easy. Ethos is 100% online. I got a quote in seconds, applied in minutes, and got coverage in hours. Just answer a few health questions. No medical exam, no blood tests, no hassle. Look, nobody wants to plan for the thinking, but it would be so much worse to not plan at all. So don't put it off. It feels great having the peace of mind knowing that my family is protected.
Ethos, the 100% online hassle-free way to get affordable life insurance. Don't wait. Get your free online quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
How would you like to lose weight, look better, and feel better about yourself? Brian Craig here with a great new message from Elegant Youth. Their new semi-glutide treatment burns fat, boosts energy levels, suppresses appetite, balances blood sugar.
Oh, man.
Rapid weight loss. Elegant Youth is in San Rafael Plaza, right next to the lab test now of Boca. Give them a call right now. 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Online at elegantyouthboca.com. Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I want to talk about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton. Now, and you guys have heard me talk. He rid me of my knee pain, my shoulder pain, my arthritis pain. And with the laser weight pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. But I want to emphasize on how quick this worked. My knee pain, years of suffering from my skateboard accident, right? 2 treatments. I went in on from my first treatment on a Thursday, went into my second treatment on Saturday. Sunday, completely pain-free. By the way, the next day after the first treatment, a lot of the pain was gone. 40-50% of the pain gone the next day. And after the second treatment, the next day, all the pain gone. Over a year, it has not returned. For both my arthritis and my shoulder injury, 1 treatment. The next day, pain-free, and the pain has not returned. It's amazing. And the laser weight pain treatment works on all kinds of pain. If you're in pain, he can help you. Give him a call. And remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays, okay? 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 and online, AppletonChiro.com. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is
Jessica. How you doing this morning? I tuned in a little late. I want to know what happened between you and Juan. What was Juan saying?
Juan is looking for someone to tell him that it is okay to vote for Ron DeSantis if he gets the nomination instead of Trump. And that's not going to happen from me.
I heard something about children. What?
Oh, he was talking about the great job that Ron DeSantis has done, and I said he's done a lot of things I support, the abortion limitations, many things. But when it comes to Disney, he lost to Disney, and Disney is doing a huge number of layoffs. Thousands of people are losing their jobs at Disney because of DeSantis. And I asked Juan if it's a good thing in his mind that thousands in Orlando are out of work because of Ron DeSantis and his ego with Disney. And he said yes. And I said that's very brave of him to sacrifice other people's jobs instead of his own for standing up for the right thing. That's all.
What do you think that Ron DeSantis could have done with Disney?
Oh, very, very easy. I'll tell you exactly what Ron DeSantis could have. He did. There's two things. First of all, he made a mistake. He announced a year before, when the legislative session was not in session, that they were going to go after that Disney Reedy Creek thing. Disney, which has unlimited funds, spent the entire year with their lawyers angling for a way for Ron DeSantis to lose, which they did. So he should have kept his mouth shut. But the other thing is this. There is a very sad thing in Kissimmee, which is the little town that borders Walt Disney World. Are you in Florida?
Yeah, but let me ask
Well, no. You asked me a question. What could DeSantis do or could have done? I'm about to tell you. So wait until I tell you, then disagree with me. So it'll sound like it's meaningful, thoughtful disagreement, not just knee-jerk disagreement. In Kissimmee, hold on, I'm gonna tell you how DeSantis could defeat Disney. I'm telling you, okay? In Kissimmee used to be where all the hotels and motels were that people stayed at. It's been bypassed by two highways, all right? And it's kind of like the Route 66 of Florida. It is filled with low-cost drug motels now and abandoned hotels that have been condemned. Many hundreds, maybe even thousands of Disney employees are paid so little they are living in these condemned motels with their entire families. Many of them are homeless, living in their cars. There's extreme poverty and hunger going on among Disney employees in Orlando. What Ron DeSantis could do would be to go to Kissimmee and show the living conditions that the employees of Disney are suffering through. But he doesn't do it because he's not smart. And if he did that, public opinion would turn so quick on Disney, they would cave and give DeSantis everything he requested to get the nightmare over. Like Target putting all that gender weirdness in the back room this week. That's what he could do with Disney.
Okay, but he didn't do that with Kissimmee. But why is it that it's his fault that Disney is wanting to destroy him back? I mean,
because listen, Disney is to. Why is it his fault? I'm going to answer the question. Why is it his fault? Disney. Okay, you asked a question. I'm going to give the answer to you. Okay, why is it his fault? And I'm going to tell you why. All right. Disney is to Ron DeSantis what Moby Dick was to Ahab. Okay. And what he has done is he's caused so much negative publicity towards Disney. Fewer people are visiting Disney, so they're not making as much money as they were because fewer people are not visiting because of the negative publicity, because of Ron DeSantis' ego having lost to Disney, and it's forcing them to lay off low-income workers. Most of them are parents.
Makes me believe that you are living in a bubble because you have no idea what it is to confront liberal media. You've been.
Do you know what I do for a living?
I mean, liberal media will do anything and will do and say anything against anybody that is a Republican. You know that he's doing great things in Florida, and the liberal media does the opposite and says the opposite. Okay? It doesn't matter what Ron DeSantis.
Excuse me, the media are giving him a free ride. He's getting a free ride by the media. Has anyone in the mainstream media shown that photograph of Ron DeSantis with the high school girls with their boobs pressed up against him at that party when he was their teacher? I don't think so.
Talking about?
Yeah, see, maybe, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Years ago? That was 20 years ago.
Well, I don't think an adult man who's a school teacher, I don't care if it was 40 years ago, should be at a high school party with high school girls with tight shirts taking pictures with their boobs pressed against them.
What? Oh my God, listen, I can understand that you are against DeSantis because you want Trump. You know, you don't deny it. Every single day you are a pro-Trumper, and that's okay.
A for-Trumper.
Well, I am going to vote for Trump. I like Trump.
I can tell. Well, okay, now this story with the high school girls, do you know how I know about this? How do you think I know about this story with DeSantis at the high school party?
I haven't seen a picture, so I can't...
Okay, I know, since you'll like this. This is a source you like because you said you're a Trumper. By the way, anyone that puts an ER at the end of Trump is not a MAGA person. But anyway, President Trump released that information a few months ago. He posted the photograph of DeSantis at this high school party with the girls on his Truth Social. So Donald Trump told me and the world this.
You're accusing him of something that we should...
No, the incident that I referenced was released to the public by President Trump on his Truth Social account. That's how I know about it. And since you are a Trumper, as you said, Trumper, oh my goodness. How many MAGA people call themselves Trumpers? You know, fake MAGA call themselves Trumpers.
Listen, I agree with one. I don't like Disney. And DeSantis did great against Disney. I mean,
do you understand? I know English is not your first language by your accent, but do you know that Trumper is derogatory? It's like the N-word.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't
know. Well, if you were really MAGA, you would know that. I wouldn't have to tell you.
Well, you know, I support Trump.
I can tell. I know you're a Trumper. I know. All right. Listen, we're up against our break, but thank you for your call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh my goodness. If you're MAGA, Trumper's derogatory. If you're how many MAGA people call themselves a Trumper? Right? Fake MAGA call themselves Trumper. I mean, do you guys agree with me on that?
From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm first warning meteorologist.
Exactly.
WPBF 25
exactly.
News. The first half of the day looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine, but then we'll see another round of heavy rains passing through South Florida later this afternoon and continuing into the evening hours. Temperatures will be in the 80s and less rain coverage on your Saturday and Sunday.
I listen to everything a caller says. Every word, every syllable. Believe me, I'm listening. I've got headphones. I can hear very well with the headphones. I listen to everything.
Furniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're heading out this morning, there is a broken down car to look out for on I-95 northbound at Belvedere Road. That broken down car has the right shoulder blocked. Heading over to I-95 southbound at Congress Ave, look out for an accident.
If you saw the living conditions of the Disney workers that I'm talking about, they're third world conditions. They're third world conditions.
You know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. And that's traffic. I'm Daphne Smith.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the newly renovated poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high-hand giveaways, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments. You can also play your favorite casino table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
What's that? I know, she was called yesterday. That might be Jeb's wife, Columba. You never know. She's got a Columba kind of accent. Maybe that's Columba Bush. Maybe that's what I'll start calling her, Columba. That'll be her nickname. Trumper.
Hey, it's Vic from the TOC, and I'm living proof that the One Life Health and Performance customized weight loss plan works. Thanks to the personalized services of Dr. Winard and his team, I am down 45 pounds. I feel great. I went from a 36-inch waist to a 32. I stopped snoring, and I no longer need that annoying sleep machine. Thanks to One Life Health and Performance, I am starting to live my best healthy life.
When you become a patient of One Life Health and Performance, you can be sure that your health and wellness goals will be personalized and achievable. Our team will be by your side every step of the way to make looking and feeling your best not just a dream, but a reality. Visit OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com to be your best, most healthy self today. OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com.
And this whole thing, even if she did vote for Trump, I voted for DeSantis twice. What does that mean? You know? Sure, Daryl, it's not a grammar Nazi. She just outed herself. She slipped. She slipped. Did you ever see Inglourious Basterds, the Tarantino movie? And the British spies in that bar scene were undercover Nazis, and the other Germans found out they were not really German because how they did the number 3 on their fingers. That's what she did. She outed herself. That's all. It's not a grammar Nazi. MAGA people don't call themselves Trumpers. Fake MAGA, pretending to be MAGA, call themselves Trumpers. It's derogatory.
When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes. They've meticulously designed stylish footwear with all the fits and features you want. They have fits like wide fit, relaxed fit, stretch fit, arch fit, and more. Plus, they have luxurious features including Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's like walking on a cool side of the pillow all day long. And best of all, they find a way to keep them affordable. You simply can't get more comfort and style for your dollar. So if you want the kind of footwear I create, get yourself a pair of Skechers. It's comfort.
If people saw the living conditions of these Disney workers, Disney would, and Disney just the way that they treat their employees in Orlando, they treat them like peasants. You could use that to get Disney to do whatever the hell you wanted Disney to do.
Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
They've made movies about it. Documentary. There's a documentary on Apple TV about it. You know. All right, we're back. Callers on hold, stand by. You know, Steve, I was talking in the last hour. You know, people wonder how we find sponsors here on our radio station in a variety of ways. And one of the ways is sometimes we need someone. Like Tom Laporta. Nice lady calling about Tom Laporta from Little Rock. We found Tom Laporta because, you know, your house basically had no roof. I mean, it was raining inside the house, so we sought out an honest roofer. We found Tom Laporta. And that's how we found Lighthouse Medical Center. Your neuropathy was so bad you couldn't get out of bed, literally. I'm not exaggerating. And we had two things coming up. We had that personal appearance where they called the cops on us because we were MAGA, and the cruise. And you said, I don't know how I'm going to do that appearance. And I said, well, I can do it without you. And you said, yeah, but what about the cruise? And, you know, you went to your doctor, you went to a specialist, a neurologist, and, yeah.
Neuropathy is incurable. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You were the one who found it.
I did. Yeah, I did. So, and, you know, Lighthouse Medical Center, not only do they have a neuropathy treatment, they have a treatment that works. It worked with you, and it's worked with so many people in this listening audience. And the pain, the suffering, the dizziness, the loss of feeling, at whatever you're going through, the burning sensation, if you have neuropathy, they can help you. Now, Lighthouse Medical Center, I'm going to give you the number in a moment. When you call, make sure you mention you heard us talking about them, because you'll get a no-charge consultation. Others don't get the no-charge consultation. You know, they're very busy. They can't do no-charge consultations all day, but they do it to Steve Kane listeners, all right? If you're a Steve Kane listener, you get a no-charge consultation. Now, they're located in Pompano. If you can't make it into the office, still call them, no matter where you are, even if you're out of town. Or maybe you're in another part of town, and because of the neuropathy, you can't drive. They can still help you if you can't make it into the office, okay? You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com or give them a call, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. All right, there's only, yep, it is. It's amazing. And that the first time you went out was that appearance where they called the cops. And we had to get out of there quick. They I made a YouTube video about that, by the way, guys. If you're not familiar with that, look it up. Steve and I got kicked out by the police. They called the cops on us at a personal appearance. It was bizarre, and I got it all on. I was recording the whole thing. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I made a YouTube video.
Oh, here he's got someone's listening in the background. We'll give him a chance. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Jay.
Yes.
Jersey.
Hey, Jay.
You said open Fridays because you got a little scared yesterday when I kind of told you what I said.
I don't even remember the call.
This caller is?
Who?
This is, what's his name? Your favorite guy.
I have no idea.
New Jersey.
Are you talking about the Harlem guy? No, yeah, Jay from, I don't even remember your call yesterday, Jay.
Okay, well,
sorry to burst your bubble. I do remember you called, but I don't remember the content.
Okay, well, let me tell you. Okay, yesterday he was, I'm trying. Yesterday when he was talking about the launch of that crazy guy DeSantis, and I reminded you that Trump made a launch on his new site when he got put off of Twitter. He made a new launch, and the launch went bad. Nobody could get on. You came on that morning and said you couldn't get on all night. You tried all day, all night. But when I brought it up yesterday, you lied and said...
Now, excuse me, first of all, not having a recollection of something is not lying. Yeah, this is not Renee from Harlem. This is Jay from Jersey. But I don't recall that. That's not the same as lying. However, whatever you're just... Well...
About Trump, you know what color underwear he wears.
Slow down. I know. Hey, listen, I know you're triggered, just like Don Jr.'s book title, but let me explain the difference to you. Just for the discussion, let's just say everything you said is true, okay? Well, I'm responding, but you have to stop talking and stop waiting to talk and listen. It's not the same thing as what happened to DeSantis, and here's why. Ron DeSantis, that was the launch of his... Can you, I mean, my goodness. Ron DeSantis, that was the launch of his presidential campaign. When President Trump launched his presidential campaign, he came down the escalator and had a perfect, amazing, historic moment. And that escalator one day will be dedicated. It'll be a national historical site, okay? Now, exactly. And let me, what, please don't use it, profanity.
There's no profanity. I said, why are you talking about something different?
Well, because you are. I'm explaining the difference between DeSantis. That was the launch of his presidential campaign. You're talking about the launch. I think you're confusing Frank's speech with True Social, to tell you the truth. But anyway, it's not the same thing. The launch of True Social is not the same as the launch of the presidential campaign. Furthermore, I don't. But I know what you're referencing. I know what maybe you're right. It's not the same thing. The other thing is this. When Ron DeSantis, okay, big difference. If Trump would have fallen down the escalator, it would have been it would have been the same thing that happened to DeSantis. I'm sure you would. But if he would have fallen down the escalator face first with Melania, that would have been the equivalent to what happened with DeSantis' launch. The other thing is this. Most people, now let me finish and then I'll hand it over to you to respond. The other thing is this, Jay, okay? Most people around the country, that Twitter announcement was their first introduction to Ron DeSantis. We know him. We follow politics religiously, but most people didn't know him. And the first time they were introduced to Ron DeSantis, he choked and fell down the escalator face first.
Okay. You said, listen, you thought DeSantis back last year was the best thing since sliced bread.
Yes.
Now you talk about him like a dog, but you loved him before.
Correct.
You was kissing his butt before.
Okay, correct.
And now you're saying he's the worst thing in the world. How come you couldn't figure that out? I figured it out that he's the worst thing.
Well, you think all Republicans are the worst thing, so that just doesn't matter because he was lying. Give you an example. Benedict Arnold was one of George Washington's best friends and was a hero of the American Revolution. He won a big battle in Canada against the Brits. And he was honored and celebrated and promoted and everything else. And then he betrayed us. And when he betrayed us, Benedict Arnold took a whole different meaning. Sometimes you learn things about people.
Did you watch the movie Soft and Quiet with that Trump act? Did you watch it?
No. Soft and quiet. Is that what your girlfriend says? Soft and quiet. All right. Thank you for your call. You're on the air. I know, a little dirty joke, but hey, it's Friday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Ivy and Broward. Hey, Steve. Boy, oh boy. Hey, let's just sum this up again. Let's go back to square one before everything broke out with Ron, before the brag and everything. I told you guys on 3 different phone call occasions, I said that this guy is the perfect Manchurian candidate, okay? I told you the Bushes were dying off, and he's simply a protege.
Okay, you were right, okay? You knew in advance, and we were wrong, as was Trump and everybody else.
I'm not saying it.
I mean, is that what you want to hear? I mean, because it's like the third time you call. You were right, and everyone, including Trump, was wrong.
Yeah, okay, so Brian's got a good point. You were right. So
Yes.
Go from here with
what I want everybody to do, go back in their mind's eye and simply see him for who he is now. Now that the curtain has been.
You nailed him.
Yes.
Here's my point. Here's my point to the Democrats and the Ron lovers. Okay, what I'm saying is we still can't have someone who is not for us, the people. He is of a particular group of people that belongs to the Bilderberg Society, and these are of the British clan. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It was doing well until he said Bilderberger. They just had their meeting this last week, the Bilderbergers. Steve and I were there. I want to exactly, yes. That's correct. That's right. The Hamburglers and the hamburgers and everything else. Oh my goodness! I tell you, Steve, this is crazy. All right, we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman at the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the final gold and precious metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Stable after touching down below the 100-day moving average yesterday and giving us that great buying opportunity that we've been talking about, getting gold down to around 1935 very momentarily, and then closing out the day at $1,939.20. Silver closed out the day at $22.73, while platinum was at $1,021, and palladium was at $1,393. Having touched those lows overnight, we saw gold trade in a range from $1,936 all the way up to $1,958. Right now, we're up $4.80. Which we would expect the markets to be higher on that buying opportunity we had yesterday. Gold currently at $1,946, up $4.80. Silver up 42 cents at $23.15. Platinum up $5 right now at $1,026, and palladium up $22 at $1,415. Yeah, dollar slightly lower today, and the movement in these metals, mostly based on the fact that the numbers that came out over the last week and this week indicate that the Fed probably is not going to slow down or stop raising interest rates like everybody was hoping, and inflation still being very stubborn and moving higher, or at least not giving back anything. So that's going to continue to put pressure on the metals as the dollar continues to hang around these stronger numbers, but that will all give way very soon, I believe, and we will see new highs made in the precious metals the years in.
Absolutely. And William Youngman, can you tell people who can't make it into your store, maybe they're in town and can't make it in, or maybe they're out of town, out of state, even out of the country, how they can still buy from you even without coming in?
Certainly, for over 50 years, we've been shipping precious metals and rare coins all over the world, and it's easier these days than it ever has been before. And we can do that by simply locking in your price on whatever you're looking to buy, wiring the money in, and the coins or bullion is shipped out the same day or the very next day, and usually just within a 1 day or 2 day service.
Absolutely. And William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. I'm assuming you'll be closed on Monday, but regular hours today? Okay, and regular hours today, opening at 10 a.m. Give them a call, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, online, williamyoungerman.com. But if you can, stop in, because William Youngerman's is a museum, and these beautiful things that we talk about all the time, they're on display, and they're just beautiful and so interesting. And bring the kids and grandkids along, too. They'll get a kick out of seeing these things. 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngman, we'll talk next week.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty. Oh, man, back to our phones, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
From Fort Lauderdale.
Hey.
Yeah, this thing with the lady and Juan and everything, when I actually became very politically aware when I started listening to you back in around 2018. But when I first heard of Ron DeSantis, I had the misperception that he was Hispanic. And I know how some people think with their hearts and not their minds. And I'm just wondering if maybe this lady thinks that DeSantis is Hispanic and she has to stick.
There's two possibilities with the caller, okay? One possibility is she's got an attraction to Ron DeSantis. She finds him attractive. That's possibility one, okay? Possibility two, she's Jeb Bush's wife, Columba, who's Mexican and talks that way with that kind of accent. That could well be Columba Bush. I'm not kidding. I'm not. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. That could be Columba Bush. She sounds just like Columba Bush.
Yeah, if you're right. Yeah. So I just, it just amazes me with the country the way it is, why the left thinks with their heart and not,
They don't think with their heart. They think with anger. Okay? Look at who they got. Look at what's going on here in this country. Okay? Blacks are so open with their racism towards whites now. This thing with the NAACP, the travel advisory, do you know why that happened? Why did the NAACP issue this travel advisory to Florida?
Well, they just, they know that Florida's great and they...
No, I'll tell you exactly why. The NAACP has been pretty much gone for years. BLM, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter took over and put them basically out of business. You know, Black Lives Matter is to the NAACP what Netflix was to Blockbuster. Then BLM was exposed by Candace Owens. They basically got a real estate scheme. Hard-working Black Americans give their money to Black Lives Matter, and they go out and buy mansions all over the country. So, and there was a story about a week ago that Black Lives Matter is in serious debt, that the donations have dried up. So the NAACP issued this travel advisory to get relevance so they can get the donations that people aren't sending to BLM. That's what it's all about. Okay? So, you know, it's
in the country right now, seems to be a lot of the donor type thing. I keep hearing DeSantis talk about donors, and I still don't know why he went overseas. I mean, I have my own ideas.
Say that again. I didn't hear what you said about DeSantis. What'd you say?
I said I hear him talk about donors a lot.
Yes.
And he and I still don't know why he went overseas.
Okay. Because he's got a campaign that's being run by these Bushes and Karl Roves, and to them, these are guys that are snobs, right? The Bushes are not Texans. Where did they have that? The H.W. Bush estate, Massachusetts, right? So they're they're northeast snobs. To them, Florida is a backwater place filled with hicks and rednecks. So if we're going to have our first Florida president, he needs to go around and have some international experience. So go around and take some photos in Korea and Japan and you know, the Israelis and the UK, and you'll look like you've done something, like you have international experience. That's what that's about.
And he's very inexperienced and he's very naive, I think. So
well, and he's immature. He can't control himself. See, this is what happened. Ron DeSantis got so excited at the thought that Bragg was going to arrest Donald Trump. He thought this was his chance, and he came and shut his mouth off and exposed himself as fake MAGA, as a Donnie Brasco undercover agent for the deep state and the uniparty. He can't control himself. He's very immature.
I'll tell you one thing. I agree with Kerry Lake, and I know you do too, because I listen to you every morning. But he thinks Donald Duck is wait till he gets over Donald Trump.
That's right. That Kerry Lake. If you can't beat Donald Duck, how can you beat Donald Trump? That was Kerry Lake. I wish I would have thought of that. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name, caller? There we go. Okay, that was the liberal response. Oh, I got to tell people, Steve, this is an awesome thing. You know, the Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera offer with professional installation. Guys, this is an offer that you should not only take up for yourself, but if your kids are living out on their own, get them the doorbell camera, okay? It makes things, you know, you know why I'm doing this spot right now? I just got a notification on my iPad that there was someone in my front yard. And I got the notification, I looked down, I was like, oh, I forgot, I got to tell people about the Sloman's doorbell camera. You get a notification every time there's movement at the door. It's a great thing. You know what? I could talk to them right now, and they would think I was home. They wouldn't know I'm here, unless they're listening on the radio, you know. But that's an amazing thing to have. Now, you can get a free doorbell camera with your professional installation, but you got to be one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. If you're one of the first 40 listeners to call, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone, and I've also got it on my iPad, and it's a great thing that you will love with the installation of your Sloman Shield, all right? But that's not all. Sloman's, they're going to give you a customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You'll get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. And if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call, 833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. This is a limited time offer, okay? 833-283-5050. And again, Great gift for your kids and you adult children. A great gift for mom and dad. Okay, and another great Father's Day gift. So give them a call. All right, let's take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from West Virginia.
Okay, what's up? Yeah, there we go, West Virginia. Oh my goodness, Steve. Maybe I was too harsh on some of the callers, you know. They're getting scared. Yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. But I'm not taking it out on the callers. You know what happened? The first call of the day was Liberal Al the John. So I guess that kind of set my mood. No, he didn't kill the show, but he, you know, just...
Because you got rid of him fast, right?
No, we had a very... Oh, no, it was a beautiful call, Steve. He didn't mean to do this. First he cleared President Trump of any wrongdoing in the classified document scandal through my questioning. He didn't mean to do this. And then he very well may have confessed to a crime. Live on the air. By the way, if you missed that call, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. About an hour after we go off the air every day, our board op, Mike, uploads the entire show as a podcast at trueoldiesfla.com. And that call was in the first segment of the show. I believe it might have been the second segment, first or second segment. See, it was Liberal Al, so I'm trying to block it out of my life. But but he very well may have confessed to a crime. It was I pulled it out of him. It was beautiful. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Matt from West Palm.
Hey, West Palm.
I was wondering if you saw Trump's Truth Social post, not the video, the other one where he called him Rob.
Yeah, President Trump has been calling Ron DeSantis Rob repeatedly. He even says it in one of the videos. Do you know why he calls him Rob? I don't know.
I have no idea. I was wondering if you knew.
I don't. I know everything about Trump except that. And at first I thought it was a typo, but he's doing it repeatedly, and he actually said it verbally in one of the videos I played, and some other people are calling him Rob, so I don't know what the reference is. If anyone knows, give us a call. All right, take care. Thanks, West Palm. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Thomas from Boca.
Hey, what's up, Thomas?
Hey, I have a question. For the last 10 years, this weekend was always travel advisory to like South Beach and all that with Urban Weekend, and it's black on black crime usually. You know, this is the big weekend when all these schools from Atlanta and Detroit all converge on South Beach. I mean, no one points that point out, but that's.
What you want an advisory? There's going to be black people on South Beach? Is that what you're suggesting? What, I don't know. I'm unclear what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying that they're saying there's an advisory with not to travel here, or maybe they should bring up the real point that people don't want to travel to South Beach because of the crime wave every urban weekend that they have every year on Memorial Day.
Well, if you obviously haven't been to South Beach in a while, every weekend is Urban Weekend at South Beach these days. You don't. What do you mean? That's why you stay awake? Yeah. What do you mean? Because there's black people on the beach?
It's changed a lot. It's not.
No, listen. Let me tell you. South Beach. It is an area where young blacks have been hanging out a lot. Okay, and it's majority blacks at South Beach. But it's young blacks, and the thing that I don't like about it is the twerking constantly. In the cars driving down Collins Avenue is a bit much, and it's a different crowd than there used to be. But every weekend's Urban Weekend now. It's not just this weekend.
I guess that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Take care. Take care. That's the last call of the week. Oh boy, I wish we had time for one more to kind of leave on a higher note with our callers today, but that's okay. Listen, thanks everyone for tuning in. Great calls today, and I'm serious. If you ever miss a portion of the show or a show in its entirety, if you go to trueoldiesfla.com, TrueOldiesFLA.com. Every day, about an hour after we go off the air, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast at TrueOldiesFLA.com and is archived up there forever. And maybe you called in and you want to hear your call or even download your call. You can do it right there. All right, guys. God bless America and God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
All right, guys, I got to take off. Thanks for watching. See ya.